and that population believes it. One, because they're stuck on that assistance, that public assistance that they can't get out of. And it takes a lot of work to get out of that public assistance because you're so dependent on it. Like I said, it's like a drug addiction. You're just so dependent on it.
And how many of those people that rise above that and see that lie and they move on and they become very successful and they do the same journey you do, where suddenly they start fighting that system and say,
and it's so hard to do that because it's so suppressed and they're so victimized.
Right.
And then
Very victimized.
They feed that victim mentality because then they get up on the news media and just that rhetoric goes out there. You're the victims. It's the white man's fault. It's everybody else's fault. It's not your fault. And they feed this victim mentality, and then they feed this they feed this entitlement mentality where I'm entitled to this. You owe me.
Yeah.
And then it just gets its own legs and it just spreads. And they just sit
like
back.
a poison. It really is.
And then they just sit back and just let it happen. And they like when it gets its own legs and it gets its own momentum and just goes.
I would even go as far as to say it's a form of mental illness. For real, because it actually shapes your brain to believe you're this victim. And so your entire life is a big tragedy and you live it as such. And you don't know how to actually come out of it. And you're like, well, this is where I am. This is where I have to be. And you kind of, you're just like stuck in it. And it becomes this mental illness. And I think that's why a lot of liberals are depressed,